Our final guest is Nikki Gatch. Nikki has been a PGA professional for over 25 years and serves as Southern California PGA Section's Chief Operating Officer. Of note, she will take over as the section's Executive Director and CEO in January. Nikki also serves as the current president of the SCGA. So Nikki, can you share with us a little bit about what it was like growing up in a family that is so involved in not only the game of golf, but the golf industry as well?
Well, thanks, Tina. As you know, my father was a PGA professional, and so I grew up around it. It's really all I knew. You know, everyone that he worked with or worked for kind of became my aunts and uncles. A lot more uncles than aunts, unfortunately, but that was just all I knew, right? And it was family. It was certainly his career and his job, but it was our family too. They would come to the house. It was holidays together. They were just part of our family.
Did that spark an interest at a young age, maybe not, as far as knowing, okay, I want to do this for a career in some way, shape, or form?
I'm sure it did. I mean, as a kid, I probably didn't think much about it. Again, it was just what I knew, right? You would go hang out at the club in the summers, and I remember raiding the back of the counter with all the quarters that Dad got from the range ball machine and use those to go to the snack bar at the pool. And again, it was just being in that environment and that atmosphere.
Right.
When it was time, in high school to sort of get your summer job, that's where I went, the golf course.
Right.
And that's, again, all I knew. I've never had a job outside of golf my entire life. I've never been a server. I've never worked at a fast food place or a clothing store or a little place in the mall. Never did that. It was always at the golf course.
So when you went to school and studied and then graduated, what were your aspirations in terms of career, and what did you do in your early days?
Well, Tina, I was going to be the next Nancy Lopez. I mean, hello. But when that didn't quite work out, I got pretty serious, I would say around maybe 12 or 13 years old. And, stopped doing some of the other sports and activities that I was doing and really focused on golf. And then it was just, make the high school team, which was a boys' team back then. When you and I grew up, there was not girls' high school golf, which it's amazing that we've come so far with that.
Right.
So it was make the high school team. Then it was, okay, get in some junior tournaments and do as well as you can and be recognized and play at the collegiate level. And, was fortunate to be able to do all those things. And then it was, okay, now what? Right?
Right.
Still had that dream, in the back of the head and played a couple of events. But really, I saw too many of our friends, our peers that were struggling out there, and they were way better than I was. So I thought, well, maybe this isn't going to be the path for me, but what is that path? And I really just gravitated back to golf and went and got a job at a golf course and, kind of had that traditional assistant golf pro role to start.
Yeah. So from that point, what was your first thought when you became a golf professional, working at that level, looking around and realizing, this will be an industry that is going to be dominated by men?
Yep.
And what were your thoughts on that? And then how has that affected you throughout your career?
I think I have a unique perspective on that. And it probably goes back to early childhood of being around all those uncles I referred to. And to me, it never was, oh, there's no women around, or I can't do this because I'm a girl. I didn't experience that. I know a lot of people have. And I feel horrible that is out there and probably still is to an extent. Again, I think I just have a unique perspective, and it probably goes back to my childhood and how I grew up. So I never really thought, oh, I'm just all, surrounded by guys, there's no women. I mean, I kind of liked it, actually.
Right.
But it kind of gave you a chance to stand out, number one. it also maybe put a little bit more pressure on to do a good job. And I like that. You know, I think that's, as golfers, we like that competitiveness, we like that pressure. And it, you know, it kind of motivated me probably a little bit more to be the best that I could be. And I've been fortunate that I've you know, I worked hard, I earned everything that I have, but you know, it's just added motivation for me. I never saw it, and still don't see it as a negative, that this is primarily a male-dominated industry. We're seeing changes in that, and I think that's wonderful. And I know we'll talk a little bit more about that, but that never was an issue for me at all.
Right. I love that. It's a very unique perspective. Love that. So let's talk about your current role. And I know it's very diverse and it touches upon many different areas. So can you take us through the journey of getting to where you are today and what that encompasses?
So that path, you know, we talk a lot now about mentors, and I think for me that has a lot to do with that path that you're talking about. So, you know, got my start with the PGA, certainly spent a lot of years working in junior golf and our junior tour that's been, you know, so successful. And I still to this day look back and think that was some of the most rewarding times of my career. Wasn't always the easiest.
Right.
A lot of blood, sweat, and tears then, but really was the most rewarding to really feel that you're having an impact on these kids' lives and what they want to do through the game of golf. Anyway, you know, I stayed with the PGA, and I've done various roles within the PGA. And a lot of that I have to credit Mr. Tom Addis, who I know is a mentor of yours as well.
Yes.
When he came on board, I believe in 2006 as our executive director and CEO, it was wonderful, right? Talk about a great mentor right from the beginning. And always gave not only me, but our entire staff, you know, any opportunity to learn about something new, learn about our operation and our business. Whenever there was an opportunity for a new or different position within the Southern Cal PGA, you know, everyone on the team was eligible for that. And I just, you know, right place, right time, probably a little bit. And so I've done various roles, you know, for the SCPGA. And in 2012, I left. Wasn't looking to leave. This is some advice I'll throw out there, but was completely happy. Wasn't looking to leave. Kind of got a tap on the shoulder from the PGA of America. Hey, we've got this new department we're forming. We'd love for you to be part of this team. Would you consider? Anyway, long story short, I did. I made the very difficult choice to leave the SCPGA. Worked for the PGA for about 7 years. Again, I kind of look back, I think that's another very pivotal moment in my career. Again, it's taking advantage of opportunities that come your way, and a lot of times when you least expect it. And it really helped me personally sort of broaden my knowledge, broaden my network. You know, I thought at that point I knew everybody in the section and knew everything about everything, right? Couldn't have been further from the truth. So, you know, having the benefit of still being connected to our Southern California PGA, but yet work on a national level was really just a great opportunity and allowed me to sort of gain more experience and knowledge. So then when the timing was right to go back to the SCPGA, which I did in early 2019, you know, it was great. And I'm fortunate when Mr. Addis does retire at the end of this year, I'll be filling some very, very big shoes, but I'm so grateful for that opportunity.
Right. Well, you mentioned how fulfilling it was working in junior golf, and then how exciting it is to have worked with a new department with the PGA. Do you have any other specific career highlights that really stand out to you that you're especially either proud of or happy that you were able to accomplish?
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, you know, my association with the Southern California Golf Association. And when I was working for the PGA, I was approached by them as well. And again, you know, not expecting this, not even thinking this was an option for me. Hey, would you consider joining our board? We're really, this was about 2014, I believe. we're really looking to diversify our board. They didn't want a board any longer of just retired private club members.
Right.
No disrespect to any previous boards.
Right.
But they wanted the board to sort of mirror more of, the association's members.
Exactly.
And have representation from as many, as possible. So I was fortunate that I was tapped on the shoulder again, right place, right time, and joined the board. I believe I joined at the end of 2014 or 15. Served a couple terms, I believe, and then at that time, if they feel you can bring something to the association, they sort of tap you on the shoulder again. Hey, would you consider being an officer?
Right.
Which means in 4 years you'll be president as you move through the chairs. Really? Me? Like, are you serious? Yes. So I'm just so honored. I'm on the back nine of this 1 year term as president, and it's been amazing. It's just such a great association, and the board of directors that I get to work with, the staff that we get to work with is just amazing, and doing some great things. And it's been fun to collaborate with the PGA as well and do great things together. This as an example, the Women's Golf Summit, the swing tips that we do the Junior Amateur Championship together. There's a lot of things that we do together, and collaboration is a big word for me, and it's important. And I think these two associations set the bar very, very high for other state associations and PGA sections across the country, because you don't see this across the country, unfortunately. But we're hoping to set a great example and raise that bar high.
What advice would you give any young women who are looking to enter the golf industry, who have a passion for the game and are looking to become a part of the golf business?
I would say first and foremost, don't get too wrapped up into that stigma that it is, a man's industry. I think we're making some great strides in changing that, and just like our game is for everyone, so is this industry. So don't get too bogged down with that, or even use that as an excuse.
Right.
I think if you love the game, there's lots of opportunities, as we've seen with the guests we've had on this session. So many more opportunities than like when you and I were junior golfers, and you either taught the game, worked the course, or you were on tour. And that was pretty much the extent of it. And now there are just so many opportunities for both men and women in this great game. So my advice would be just to get involved. Find someone that does work in the industry, whether that's a pro at your club or just anyone that you can connect with. Maybe you're a junior golfer and it's someone that works for the tour that you're playing on, or really anything. But just get connected with someone, or more than one person. Would be even better, and sort of start that mentorship with someone that's in the industry. And ask a lot of questions, and volunteer where you can. Just get exposed to everything that's out there, and don't get tunnel vision, and don't get locked into, well, I just want to be a teacher, or I just want to, whatever it might be. Keep an open mind and explore different opportunities, and again, ask a lot of questions, and find a good mentor or a few down the line.
Right. And we're so lucky that the golf business, the golf industry, has so many people who are eager to be mentors and grow the game through the next generation of golfers and those involved in the industry. So just like you.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's what makes our industry so unique. I mean, yes, there's competition, right? Whether it be between the courses that are down the street from each other competing for tee times, or competing manufacturers. But I think at the end of the day, we all want everyone to succeed, because that means that that our game succeeds.
Exactly.
So I think it's again, I don't know any other industry. Although I did some internships in another industry, and that's why I decided not to go down that path. But I think that's what makes our industry so unique and so special, that we genuinely want everyone to succeed.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Gosh, Nikki, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate your perspective and what you've shared with us, because it's it's helped the outlook, I'm sure, I know for myself, and those watching, you've given us a lot to think about and a lot to be inspired by. So thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you, and thanks for all that you do for our game and all that you're doing for this summit. We greatly appreciate it.
Well, I love every minute of it, so thank you.